So this is your notebook. You should have, I prefer composition books like this one. If you have one like this, please put your name and the class and the period. Obviously this is not Algebra 2, so put your name, first and last name right here in the front. Put Algebra 1.1 and period, whatever it is period 4. So please make sure you have, obviously your name, the class, and the period on the cover of your notebook. Now, when you open up your notebook, on the inside cover, I want you to tape in your syllabus, which should have your signature and your parent's signature, but I'm going to explain how to tape it right now. I just want one edge of it taped, okay? I don't want like the whole thing. First of all, it doesn't fit, so you're going to have to fold it. So I just want one edge of it taped. That way, if you want to unfold it, you'll have access to both sides, front and back, okay? So once again, you want to just tape in one side of it, okay? And fold it so you could have access to both sides. And then on your very first page right here, I would like you to put that half sheet of paper which actually describes how I'm going to grade this notebook when I collect notebooks. I'm not collecting notebooks every day, every week. It's after each unit. Okay, so once we're done with Unit 1, with Chapter 1, once we've had several quizzes and a big test, at the end on that Friday, I'll tell you, hey, turn in your notebooks, and over the weekend, I'll grade it. And we'll get to that right now. But right now, I want to pause the video. I want you guys to grab the tape that's on my desk and pass it around and tape in your syllabus, just this top part, so you could have access to both sides of it, okay? If you just got the syllabus right now, take it home, sign it, show it to your parents, have them sign it as well. And this is what you should have on the inside front cover of your notebook. So on this very first page of your notebook, I want that little half sheet of paper that I handed out. Okay, that little half sheet of paper is exactly how we are going to grade your notebook when we turn it in at the end of the unit, at the end of the chapter. Okay, so it tells you the description and it tells you how many points you get. So if all of your papers are secure, what do I mean by secure? They're either glued, taped, or stapled, right? If all of them are secured, you're going to get 1 point. And notice right here it says self-evaluation points and actual grade points, right? So you're going to give yourself points, you're going to add it up, you're going to give yourself a grade. It's going to be a total of 10 points if you have everything, which is an A+. So if you give yourself a grade, then when you actually turn them in, I collect it and I check and see and verify your scores. And if you do have everything, I'll give you a 10 right there, which will be an A+. The notebook is worth about 10% of your total semester report card grade. So it's not that important, but it does make a difference. Okay, so let's please maintain good notebooks. So let's pretend that we've already been a month and a half in this class. Let's pretend that we already took several quizzes and we took the Chapter 1 test. On that Friday, you're going to turn it in. And before you turn it in, you got to read through the descriptions and give yourself a point. So like right here, is everything glued, taped in order, right? It's not acceptable to have a sleeve inside your notebook and just jam all your papers in there. That's not acceptable. So if everything's in order, you give yourself 1 point. So you'd give yourself 1 point right there if we're already turning it in and if you have everything in order and everything's secure. Check out this next one. All quizzes and tests must be in the notebook. So when I grade a quiz or a test, I give it back to you, you glue stick it right in here, okay? What else? You get 1 point if you have the quizzes and tests. You get another point if you have the parent's signature. That's a total of 2 points. So like, let's say you did get the 1 point for the quizzes and tests, but you didn't have your parents sign it at all. So you're only going to get 1 point out of the 2. Does that make sense? Okay. So far, you have those 2 points. Moving on. All your notes and class openers must be accounted for with the title, date, and day. So on each page, I want a title, a date, and a day. Okay. Even on the days you're absent. So if I open up your notebook, I need to see a title to see what I'm looking at, and I need to see a date and day to see when you actually did it. And I know it's kind of ridiculous. You guys are thinking, why am I going to put the day if I already put the date? I like to see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in addition to the actual date. So if on every page you have a title, date, and day, you would give yourself another point right here. Right here's a big one, homework. So like I said, I don't collect homework on a regular basis. You're going to be doing the homework and you're going to be leaving it in your notebook. And when I collect it, then I'll be checking for the homework, see if you actually did it. So when you turn in your notebooks, let's say for chapter 1, let's say you did every single homework assignment in chapter 1, you did every single problem, then you give yourself 3 points right there. Let's say you only did about half the homework. How much would you give yourself? What's half of 3? What's half of $3? 1.5. So you give yourself a decimal, 1.5, right? Maybe you did most of it, but you missed like 1 or 2 questions. You didn't do 1 or 2 questions on each assignment. Maybe you give yourself like a 2.5 or maybe even a 2.9, you know? So you grade yourself according to how you feel you did on the descriptions here. Homework log. Do you update your homework log and do the reflection rating from 0 to 3? Let's take a look at what the homework log is. All right, so let's go back and let's give ourselves 3 points if we think we did all the homework. And then the homework log, let's actually show you what that is. So here's the homework log, guys, and this goes on the back cover of your notebook. So on the front cover, you have your syllabus. On the back cover, you have the homework log, okay? And I'll show you how to tape it in on the back cover right now. But for now, let me actually go through and describe what the homework log is. Okay, so we have a homework board on the back part of our class, and I keep track of all the homework assignments that we have, right? That's what you're going to be doing right here on this homework log. So let's say I give you worksheet 1.1 and I want you to do 1 through 13 odd. You would actually write down the day and the date that I gave it to you, write down the section 1.1, and then you would write numbers 1 through 13 odd. Once you do your homework, you go back and you have to do a reflection. Obviously, there's not enough space to write out a sentence right here. So we're just going to give ourselves a reflection number. Okay, now what do I mean by that? If you feel like this description, okay, you did the first homework assignment, you completed all the problems correctly, you're able to explain it to other people that need help, and you feel like you're a genius, hey, give yourself a 3, okay? Let's say you did the homework, but you did most of the homework only. You understood most of them, but you still need to ask for help on 1 or 2 problems. You feel pretty smart. If that's the case, you only give yourself 2, right? These are not points. This is just a reflection number, all right? Let's say you could only do about half of the problems. You feel like you definitely need tutoring and you're going to go back and watch the videos and ask somebody for help, give yourself a 1, okay? If you're only able to do half of the problems, give yourself a 1. If you don't know what the heck is going on, if you feel like this is written in a different language, give yourself a 0, okay? So these are not points. This is just how you feel about the homework, okay? So it's not like if you give yourself a bunch of 3s, you're going to get a better score. That's not the case. You could give yourself a bunch of 0s, you still get the point right here. When I'm grading the notebooks, do you update your homework log with the reflection rating from 0 to 3? Even if you put all 0s, you're still going to get this point when I grade it, okay? So this is going to be on the back cover. I'll explain right now how to glue stick it in on your back cover. And last but not least, when I grade, I'll be checking neatness. Is your notebook presentable? Is your writing legible? Do you have a title, date, and day on each page? This is very important. Again, we need a title, date, and day on each page. Title, date, and day on each page. So you know what? We actually glue stuck this in right here. So up here on the top of this paper, let's write down a title. Let's write down how I get a grade. How I get a grade. That's the title for this page. What am I looking at? I'm looking at how I'm going to get a grade on the notebook. Okay. What date is it? That's the wrong date. Today is Wednesday, 2020. So date and day. So you need those 3 things: title, date, and day. Very important. So on each page, title, date, and day. So if you do have a title, date, and day on each page, if it's presentable, if it's neat, give yourself 2 points. I encourage you to try to use like different colored pens, highlighters, make it as neat as possible. Anyway, you're going to give yourself all these grades, all these points, and then you add them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Your final score is a 9. And then you turn it in, and then I'll double check and see if you actually graded it correctly. And if I agree with everything you gave yourself, I will also give you that same score of a 9, which is technically 9 out of 10, which is a 90%, which is an A-. Great job, right? So this is how I'm going to be grading the notebooks. There are no surprises. You need to grade it yourself before actually turning it in anyway. Okay, so on the back cover, go to the back cover of your notebook and you want to tape in that homework log that I gave you. Again, same thing, just put one strip of tape up here, or maybe just tape up here on this corner, tape right here on this corner. That way, you're able to fold it open. You're able to fold it open, and not only that, flip it to see the other side as well, because it's two-sided. So please tape in the homework log onto the back cover of your notebook. So I hope everybody taped in just that top part so you could have access to both sides. And every day that I put a homework assignment up there, you're going to write down the date and the day. You're going to write down the section and the description. So let's say I give you a worksheet 1.1 and I want you to do 1 through 13 odd. You put the day and the date, section 1.1, worksheet numbers 1 through 13 odd. And then once you finish it, give yourself a reflection, okay? Let's actually practice writing down notes right now, okay? Let's actually take notes on how to write down notes. So, go to the first available page in your notebook, and let's put a title, date, and day. This was an old picture I took, so it doesn't have the right date or day. Let's do this. The date is 1/8/20, and today is Wednesday. So there's my date and my day. My title is Notes. And what kind of notes do we have here? On the notebook setup. So there's my title. Again, the three things you need: your title, your date, and your day on each page. Okay? And let's actually write down some notes here. First part of the notes. Each page must have a title, date, and day. Go ahead and jot that down. Another thing I need: everything should be in your notebook in order according to date or day, and it must be glued or taped in. Okay, so when I look through your notebook, if I see this on Wednesday, or this page right here that says Wednesday, what should the next page say? Thursday, and then after that Friday, and so on, in order, right? We want to have everything organized in order. So go ahead and jot down these notes. I'm going to pause it, and this is an example of how we jot down notes. We want a title, date, and day. Go ahead and do that. Alrighty, guys, so hopefully you jotted this down already. So I just handed out that little slip of paper. Most times I'll be giving you something at the beginning of class as a class opener. Right here, I just gave it to you right now. You are actually going to tape this in. Everything you get in class, doesn't matter if it's notes, if it's a class opener, if it's a handout, if it's a worksheet, you're going to glue stick everything in there. So that little slip of paper I gave you, go ahead and tape it into this page of this day. Now, go through and answer all this, okay? This is going to be what we're doing for the rest of the class. Go through and answer all this. What percent of your grade is the midterm? If you don't know, go ahead and find it on your syllabus. Or maybe talk to a partner. They might know about it. Fill in the blanks right here and right there, okay? Answer these questions. Fill it all out. And that's what we're doing for the rest of the class. And we are good. I'm done with the video.